Chapter 4. Strategy. Industry analysis. Initial dialogue.
I called this meeting today to discuss Maharaja Magic, specifically where we stand and where we go from here.
Well, our Indian launch went very well due to our strong team effort.
Yes, the numbers exceeded our projections.
That's right. We are now firmly positioned as a leading body oil manufacturer in Asia.
That's all well and good to be number one in Asia. However, the real money's in the U.S. and European markets.
That may be true, but there is also more competition in those markets.
That's exactly why we need to come up with a winning strategy to enter those markets.
Of course, all in a cost-effective way.
Well, I guess I could start doing some preliminary market research.
Good idea. You might want to start by analyzing the 5 forces in those markets.
The 5 what?
MBA lecture, Industry Analysis. 5 Forces Model by Michael Porter of Harvard University. In business, the attractiveness, growth, profitability of an industry depends on 5 basic market forces: bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power of buyers, threat of new entrants, threat of substitute products, existing competition in the industry. The collective strength of these forces determines both the profit potential of an industry as well as the strategy of a company operating in that industry. Bargaining power of suppliers. The bargaining power of suppliers will be strong if any one or more of the following conditions are met. Number of suppliers is few, product that is supplied is unique, substitute products are not available, supplier could integrate forward and become a new direct competitor. Bargaining power of buyers. The bargaining power of buyers will be strong if any one or more of the following conditions are met. Concentrated number of buyers, purchases in large volumes, substitute products are available, buyer could integrate backward and become a new direct competitor. Threat of new entrants. This deals specifically with the barriers to entry, or how difficult it is for an outside company to come into the industry. Some barriers to entry include capital requirements, money, economies of scale, cost advantages, proprietary technologies, government policies, regulations. Threat of substitute products. Are there other products that can meet the same customer needs? For example, Disneyland not only competes with Universal Studios in the theme park market, it also competes with other entertainment options, such as sporting and concert events, movies, online games, and so on. All are competing for the same entertainment dollar. Existing competition in the industry. Industry competition is strong if one or more of the following conditions are met. Competitors are numerous, industry growth is slow, product lacks differentiation, exit barriers are high.
Industry analysis. Application dialogue.
Well, Aki, have you thought about what we said this morning?
Yes, I have.
And?
Well, according to my analysis, we don't have to worry too much about the suppliers or customers at this point.
Why is that?
Because there are numerous suppliers, none of whom controls the market. As for the customers, since there are only a few available products of this type, they are willing to pay whatever the price.
Okay, what about the barriers to entry? Would it be difficult for us, or anyone else for that matter, to break into the industry?
There are 2 issues to consider. First, we need to obtain the necessary governmental approval for over-the-counter sales of our product. This shouldn't take too long since we've already carried out the required testing procedures.
And the second issue?
There may be some logistical problems in terms of distribution.
What do you mean exactly?
Well, here in Asia, we have a very strong distribution network, and our company name carries a lot of weight. This is not the case in Europe or the U.S.
Okay, what about possible substitute products?
The only ones I could foresee would be traditional lotions, which are very common and do not have any medicinal effect like ours.
And finally, what about the existing competitive situation?
In Europe, there are only 2 or 3 major players, and 1 or 2 in the U.S.
Well done, Aki. That was a very insightful industry analysis.
Competitive advantage. Initial dialogue.
Well, folks, we have our work cut out for us. We need to come up with an entry strategy for the European and the U.S. markets.
According to our production figures, we have the lowest manufacturing costs in the industry. So why don't we position ourselves as the low-cost provider?
Yes, that's true today, Scott. However, that might not be the case a year from now when our competitors change some of their operations.
In my opinion, we also have the most attractive packaging.
I think so too. But I heard through the grapevine that our competitors will soon be coming out with a similar design any day now.
Well, what about the fact that we bundle both the body oil product and the enriching powder together?
Let's stop and think. What's to stop others from copying this idea?
What we really need to do is to come up with something original or unique that is difficult for our competitors to copy.
You mean differentiation?
MBA lecture, Competitive Advantage. Competitive advantage refers to the strategic advantage one company has over its rivals within a particular market. Companies generally establish such an advantage by either being more cost-efficient in their operations or selling a better product differentiation. Cost efficiency and differentiation are seen across all industries. Although the two are not mutually exclusive, it is rare to find companies that excel in both. Cost efficiency focuses on upstream activities such as SCM, supply chain management, and/or downstream activities such as distribution and sales. Dell was a good example of a company that thrived in both areas. Product differentiation requires offering something unique to the customer in terms of the product or buying experience. The difference can be something as superficial as the packaging or design of the product, or simply its brand name. Or it could be something more meaningful, such as the technology that drives the product. Apple has thrived by offering unique products based on proprietary technologies. Whatever the case, differentiation comes down to customer perception. If the customer believes there is value, then it must be true. Sustainability and trade-offs. In order for a competitive advantage to be successful in the long term, it must be sustainable, which means it is difficult for the competition to copy. Companies do this by engaging in an integrated set of activities. For example, Southwest Airlines, a pioneer in the discount airline sector in the U.S., flies just one type of airplane, Boeing 737, which minimizes operating costs and makes for quicker turnarounds. It also flies into smaller or secondary urban airports, which have lower landing fees. It offers no assigned seats or in-flight meals, which again minimizes operating cost. All these things allow Southwest Airlines to be very competitive in terms of pricing. The major U.S. airlines have tried to copy Southwest Airlines, but have been unable to match them in terms of cost efficiency, primarily because they cannot perform all the necessary activities. Now, in order for Southwest Airlines, or any other business to be successful, it must be willing to accept certain trade-offs. These are simply things you may have to give up in order to do something else. For example, if I want to stay up late to watch a movie and I have to get up early the next day for work, lack of sleep will be my trade-off. By doing what it does, Southwest Airlines is quite successful in the short-haul market, with both vacation travelers and business people. However, it's far less successful with longer flights, since multiple stops may be required with fewer amenities offered. And it is totally absent from the international travel market. These are the trade-offs it has been willing to accept in order to be successful. Unfortunately, many companies tend to forget this simple rule and try to be all things to all people, which usually leads to trouble. Niche market. Some companies focus on niche markets, developing a unique set of skills and competencies that will allow them to become the expert in that area. This strategy, if carried out correctly, can result in higher returns, profits, as customers perceive greater value in what the company offers. BMW, for example, has done very well over the years by focusing exclusively on the luxury car market.
Competitive advantage. Application dialogue.
So what is our strategy? Or to put it in Keiko's words, what is our point of differentiation?
There would appear to be several key areas where we are different from our competition.
And they are?
First, our unique patented formula is registered in every major global market. This will make it impossible for anyone to copy our ingredients.
That may be true, but only for a limited time.
Also, our strong company brand name in other personal care products will help differentiate ourselves from the competition.
That's also true, but how well known are we really in Europe and the US? Obviously, the homegrown companies have a slight advantage over us there.
Well, finally, we only sell our products through the internet and other direct channels like catalogs, so we don't have any channel conflicts like other companies do.
What do you mean by channel conflicts?
Our competitors sell in both traditional retail shops and on the internet. This creates a pricing conflict between the two channels.
What do you mean exactly?
Would you buy a product at a store if you could buy it cheaper on the internet?
Of course not.
Then why would you need stores? And more importantly, how would the stores feel about being left out?
Good point, Keiko. So we've agreed. Our strategy will take a three-pronged approach, focusing on the uniqueness of our product, the strong brand name of our company, and our overall cost efficiency due to our manufacturing operation in India and our direct selling method.